Splatoon is weird. Ever wanted to watch a bunch of people shoot goo at each other in public? Forget how weird that last sentence sounded, because this is it. Welcome to Inkopolis, a place where everyone sounds like they've been gargling kittens and where children shoot each other for sport. Meet the Inklings, a race of squid people that have the ability to move and talk despite being made of exclusively ink and cartilage. Best not to question any more of the logic behind these things, like how they dissolve when exposed to water but can swim through their own ink no problem even though ink is mostly water, or how they survive at all with a weakness to water since all organisms require it to live, or how they're able to shapeshift from squid to human at will even though that's physically impossible. I mean, only a pedantic plebeian would ask stupid questions like that, I stare. Besides, there's something more important than logic. Racial relations. Introducing the Octolings, bitter rivals of the Inklings that look pretty much identical. These two species were once involved in a great turf war where they shot goo at each other for territory. Like, literally shooting their own bodily fluids at each other. There should be a joke there, but I'm not going for it. The Inklings ended up winning, causing the Octopussies to go into hiding. To celebrate the victory, the Inklings turned this goo shooting into a competitive sport. Because that's what you do after you exile an entire race of creatures. Turn their defeat into a fun game for the kids. And that's how we get to the present, where goo shooting tournaments are held constantly to determine the world's laws. No, I'm not joking, and double no, I won't explain further. But how did these things even come to be, you may ask? Simple. Apocalypse. Supposedly, this series takes place after all human life died out tragically. How? Something social commentary. In other words, convenience. And yes, I did just switch topics from funny squid people to global extinction. Keep up. Never judge a book by its cover, or in this case, never judge a squid by its tentacles. You don't know where they've been. Let's take a closer look at the timeline. So, after global extinction, there were two groups of survivors. One tried to go into space and got stuck for 1,000 years. The other got stuck underground and fucked about until their first escape attempt killed them off. If these are the survivors, no wonder humanity went under. But hey, they weren't all useless. While stuck, some of the underground people developed a bunch of crystals made from squid goo that can read human minds and reflect their desires because sure, why not? These crystals eventually fell in the water and fused with the creatures living in it. Then evolution, schmevolution, and bada bing, bada boom, you got squid people. I would question literally everything about that, but I'll hold my tongue. Wouldn't want our own human race to go extinct before I finish. That's the past, but what about the present? Well, remember the bitter rivalry between the squids and octopi? Yeah, that's done now. As we all know, years of exile and bitterness can all be forgiven by jamming to some sweet tunes. Remember kids, racism is powerless next to bops. But don't worry, there's still a bunch of evildoers ready and willing to cause a ruckus. Like this evil telephone pole who uses a blender to shred and combine organisms into a mind-controlling goo. Or this bear who aims to return life to its mammalian roots by means of furry goo. A lot of goo in this series. At this point, you should already have reached the acceptance stage when it pertains to this franchise's logic. If you haven't yet, then enjoy living in denial. I wonder what else they got cooking up. Maybe next time the squids will have to fight against the pirate T-Rex who turns creatures into dinosaurs with his prehistoric goo. It'd make as much sense as everything else I've mentioned so far. I guess all we can do is wait for the new DLC to come out. God only knows what'll happen to this franchise when it does. Also, there's this immortal cat who got frozen in a pod for 1,000 years before escaping and becoming the judge of this world. I had nowhere else to put him, he was so out of place. So as a quick summary, Splatoon is a series about goo people shooting goo at other goo people while villains try to take over by using their own goo. Did you get all that? Good. That was the simple stuff.